Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to be filming a review and wear test of the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Foundation. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy. And let's get into it. All right, you guys, so I am so excited to be filming this one. So we had kind of been seeing sneak peeks of this one for maybe a couple weeks, but there was no definite answer to when this was coming out. And then on Christmas Eve, they announced this would be released on the 26th. So this is the new Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Foundation. This retails for $55 Canadian or $42 US, and this is available in 30 flexible shades. This does have a 12-month shelf life and it is made in the USA. So this is described as a breathable, luminous foundation that effortlessly builds and blends to illuminate the complexion with customizable, long-wearing coverage. Highlighted ingredients are grapeseed oil and vegetal squalane to provide restoring moisturizing benefits, and perfecting powders. Works with skin's natural texture for a smooth and enhanced finish. Okay, I'm very curious. So this bottle is stunning. It definitely fits with the rest of the Makeup by Mario vibe with the white cap and the silver detailing. This is a heavy glass bottle, so nice. And when you take off the lid, this is a really beautiful silver metal pump. I love that. So I'm very excited to play with this. And I did pick up the shade 3N, so this is supposed to be fair with neutral undertones. So I'm hoping to give this one a good 12 hours today. And with my wear test, I do like to do one side primed and powdered and the other side just kind of left alone to see how the foundation does all by itself, but also how it does with, I guess, other aids, I guess you could say. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm just gonna pin my hair back. All right, so I'm just gonna take one pump on my palette. Okay, so that's actually two pumps and it comes out looking pretty thick, but it actually is a little bit more liquidy, which I like. So I think I'm going to prime this side of my face, and I'm just using a tiny little bit of primer right in the center, just as a pore fill. All right, I'm just gonna go in with a brush, and I'm actually just using the Fox 4 brush from Sigma and Brianna Fox. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a really good shade match for me, so I am excited about that too. Yeah. Okay, shade match wise, perfect. And it's definitely feeling a little bit thicker. I'm just buffing this in. Okay, this gives really good coverage, I will say. Typically with thicker foundations, I like to use my BK Beauty 101, and then this brush is perfect for foundations that are thinner in consistency, like the NARS Light Reflecting. Okay, this looks really nice. Okay, so that is one side with, this side without. Definitely did a great job. Definitely a very medium coverage. It definitely has a luminosity to it, which I love. Just for reference, I do have dry skin and I live in Canada, so my skin is usually at its worst in right now. I'm currently filming this on December 30th, but so January is typically a pretty tough month for my skin. I love the way the side with the foundation looks. It just looks so pretty and flawless. And I mentioned while I was putting it on that it looked a little bit thicker. It does not feel heavy. It does not feel like I have anything on my skin. And it doesn't even have much of a tack to it. One thing that I always mention when I'm testing foundations is if I can touch my face and I feel a tackiness, it'll drive me bananas. I'm not getting that. Like, I can tell there's something there, but it more so just feels like my moisturizer. I love how that looks. Okay, I do want to try a sponge on the other side just to see if it looks as nice. I'm definitely on a brush kick lately, so I haven't been using a sponge as much. Okay, it's looking nice with a sponge, but not as nice as it is with the brush. So I'm gonna switch back to my brush because I loved that so much. And you definitely get more coverage with the brush, but you get a more natural finish with the sponge. However, I think this has a very skin-like finish even with using the brush, so that's a good sign. Okay, so the foundation is now on and I'm feeling very excited. So I love the way this looks on the skin. It definitely does have a luminosity, which is what I really enjoy in a foundation. It definitely looks skin-like. It does not look heavy. It has really evened out my skin. Definitely a medium coverage and also buildable, but does not feel heavy. And it is not feeling tacky as well. It doesn't feel like I have something heavy on my skin. If anything, it feels more just like a moisturizer. So I'm loving that. The shade match is perfect. I'm also noticing that as of right now, it's not clinging to dry patches, and even in my smile lines, it's not enhancing them. Like, you're gonna get some settling. If you have lines, you're gonna get some settling, but it's not making them look overly pronounced like they typically do when I put a foundation on over top. I'm feeling really good about this at the moment. So I'm just gonna pop on some concealer and then a little bit of powder. However, I don't think this is one I'm gonna typically powder. I don't think I need to. I'm just using my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I'm really excited for Mario to come out with his own concealer as well, because I think that's gonna be amazing. Everything else he does is amazing, so I'm sure this one will not be any different. Okay, I'm just going into my Dior Powder No Powder, and I am going to set my under eyes on both sides. Only setting this side. So this and that foundation really do a nice job blurring out pores. So happy about that for sure. I'm pleased with that combo. Let me pop off camera. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back to get our wear test started. All right, so the rest of the makeup is on and I am still absolutely loving how this foundation is looking. It does have a soft radiance to it, so it's not too glowy, but it does make your skin look just radiant and healthy. It's a very slight glow, but it's super flattering, and it's not making my smile lines look overpronounced like most foundations do. If you have lines, product is going to settle into them, and it's just not making them look overpronounced, which I really appreciate. It's also really not clinging to my dry patches, specifically right here. I just love how this is looking so far. Again, it still feels very, very comfortable on the skin. Feels just like I have a moisturizer. There's no tackiness when I touch my face, which I really appreciate. And it just doesn't feel heavy, and it definitely made my skin look so much more flawless. Definitely a really great medium coverage, but it's the perfect coverage level for me so far. So let's get this wear test started. I will see you guys back here at the end of the night, and I will let you know how the foundation wore, what my thoughts are so far, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so we are now at the very end of the day. The makeup has been on for about 12 hours. It is currently 9:03. Did my makeup around 9, so we've given this a really solid wear test, and I love this. I am really loving this foundation. So I am seeing a bit of wear on my chin, but that's to be expected. Everywhere else still looks really, really good, really intact. There is a luminosity to my skin, but because I'm so dry, it doesn't look oily or anything like that. It just looks really nice and healthy and glowy. It's very similar to the glow that I had when I first put this on, and I just think it wore so well. I think it also held on to my blush and bronzer really well. I'm very impressed. I stand by what I said initially, that it feels super lightweight. It didn't settle into my smile lines at all. I'm so impressed. And even checking out my dry patch right here, it still doesn't look bad at all. I am so impressed by this foundation. This lasted the full 12 hours. It still looks so healthy on the skin. It's maintained its coverage. I have a bit of wear around my chin, but I've had lunch, I've had dinner, and I've been doing some editing and cleaning. So I did put this through the test, but I'm so impressed with this foundation. First of all, the packaging is stunning, but the way this wears on my dry skin, I am absolutely in love with this. I do think if you have oily skin, this may not be your perfect foundation. Like I said, it does still look pretty luminous on me, but it's not too much. It's not coming through like I'm just oily. It's just giving me a really nice, healthy radiance. And for my dry skin, that is absolutely perfect. I do think if you have oilier skin, I do think you're going to need to touch up with this, and I think that for that reason, it may not be a favorite. However, the coverage on this, so good. It is such a solid medium coverage, but it doesn't feel at all heavy. It looks very skin-like. The only difference I'll say is the side where I used primer and a little bit of powder looks a little bit more matte than the side that I didn't. I will say that the side does look a little more luminous. But otherwise, the side that I didn't prime and powder is still fully intact, just like this side. So maybe if you don't want such a luminosity, definitely add a little bit of powder, nothing crazy. I think it'll look so good. It feels so lightweight. It does not feel like I've been wearing a full face of makeup today. Normally when I throw on a full face, I'm content. I love wearing makeup, but I can tell. And this one, it was so comfortable. It did not feel like I was wearing a full face. Cannot say enough good things. I will say when you look really closely at the bottle, it's almost got like a sheen in the product, and I was almost kind of nervous at first that it was going to be a little bit shimmery, which strikes me as weird, but I think that's just what is giving the product its luminosity. It doesn't give you sparkles all over the face. It just gives a beautiful luminosity. I think if you have dry skin and you like a good medium coverage with a glowy finish, you're gonna love this. Absolutely love this. I do think if you have oily skin, this may not be your favorite, but I love this so much. This just looks so good. And I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, I got the shade 2N, and it seems like a pretty perfect match for me, so I cannot recommend this enough. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to keep playing with it and enjoying it over the next little bit, but this is definitely a hit for me. What a great way to start off the new year with a foundation that I'm absolutely in love with. I also love how it doesn't break down on me like the Hourglass foundation did. That one looks super beautiful for the first 6 hours and then it just breaks down like crazy. This one didn't do that. This one stayed strong. I will of course give you guys an update in my speed reviews at the very end of the month, but I will say this has been an absolute success. So if this keeps performing like it did today, I may have another top favorite foundation contender. And that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. Let me know down below if you're planning to pick this one up too, or if not. But thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!